Hello everyone, MFPallytime here. Welcome back to Heroes of the Storm. In today's video, in our A through Z playthrough, we have landed on Nazeebo. Nazeebo! That's the best I can do right now. Since the 24-hour live stream, I've been sleeping in 4-hour increments, and that's the best my body can do. I'm getting 4 hours of sleep a night, and I don't get it. I'm even taking NyQuil because I feel like crap and I'm sick. And my body's just like, nope, you're waking up. It's like I got a severe case of jet lag from doing a 24-hour stream. And I'm struggling right now. But there's work to be done, and I'm trying to do it. Nazeebo is a character that did receive a rework last year. And over the course of this year, that rework has been altered a little bit. Throughout his entire history in the Nexus, his main builds were always focused around his Q ability, his spiders. He would throw out corpse spiders. They deal a lot of damage. Previously, there wasn't very much thought behind that because the spiders would just kind of home on to targets. But with the rework, they did make it so you have to actually land the projectile of your Q ability in order for that to, in order for the spiders to attack an opponent. But recently, we have seen a pretty hefty trend with his dominant build being the Plague of Toads, his E ability, actually, his E ability. That was also changed in the rework. It used to just send out 5 toads. Now it sends out 3 toads with a 2-charge system, so you can have technically 6 out at a time, and they do operate on separate cooldowns. It's a very interesting gameplay shift if you approach the battle with toads. I have only ever played Nazeebo in the past with spiders. I was 100% dedicated to spiders. I play a pretty mean spider Nazeebo, if I do say so myself. But to show off what his gameplay is like this year, we're not going to go with what I'm comfortable with, and we're going to try to drift off into a Plague of Toads build. I've done 3 warm-up games with this. In the first game, we had a bot. In the second game, we just lost really bad. But it was a warm-up game. I was still getting used to it. And then last game, we had an AFK. So what I'm starting to learn is maybe playing this early in Heroes of the Storm isn't the most competitive environment, because I've been seeing a lot of that over the course of the past 3 days.
I hear the call.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, we find ourselves on Volskaya Foundry today with 2 mirror matches in this game. Yeah, there really must not be a lot of people playing this early in the morning, which makes perfect sense. I mean, it's totally understandable. The friendly team, Nazeebo, Genji, Chromie, Alarak, and Anubarak. The enemy team, Artanis, Valera, Nazeebo, Sonya, and Chromie. If you've never seen Nazeebo before, his Q ability is Corpse Spiders. We throw out a jar, and this jar must hit an enemy player within this radius, or enemy of any kind. It can be a tower, minion, mercenary camp. The point is, if you miss with the jar, the corpse spiders do not spawn. You gain no benefit from those spiders. And these will chase after your enemies and deal a lot of damage. And like I've said, in the past, most of Nazeebo's builds were built around the corpse spiders. They dealt a lot of damage. They were really good. A consistent way of doing single target damage. And in recent times, we've seen a shift away from that, and I think there's a few reasons for it, and we will talk about that in today's video. But I'm still trying to figure out if Plague of Toads builds is right for every game, or if there's still a time to use corpse spiders as your main build. I think versus a team like this, like a team with a lot of push that's going to be moving into you a lot, if I position appropriately, like kind of in the same vein as a Chromie, you know, in our back line, but at long range, just sending in these volleys of toads over and over, I think it could be really good. What I was trying to do in my warm-up games that didn't seem to work out too well was flanking the enemy team with Plague of Toads, especially once I had it built up. I thought that would be really effective. Approaching our E ability kind of like March of the Murlocs, if you're familiar with like the mentality behind that ability. Oh shit. Where you want to cut off the escape of the enemy team and either force them into the damage that you're throwing out or force them to push into your team even further. I hope that makes sense. That's kind of how I was approaching toads, but it doesn't seem like the range of toads is quite long enough to make that valuable enough. There is another option at level 1 for Nazeebo that gives him a pretty good range increase on all of his abilities. But depending on the build, or actually I would say for both builds that you go, your level 1 talent is usually really good for both spiders and toads. And I feel like giving that up is difficult to do. Giving up both of these level 1 talents for Things of the Deep, I think it's really difficult. Let's see if we can move in here and get anything done. You'll notice that whenever we throw a basic ability or an auto attack on an enemy, we are going to be poisoning that enemy for a short time. That poison lasts for 6 seconds. Over here next to our portrait, you may see that we have a number 24. That is the number of minions that have died while my poison is activated on them. Or, yeah, that's the appropriate term. We can say activated for that. And it is very similar to last hitting in other MOBAs. If you are familiar with League of Legends or Dota, last hitting is a very familiar concept. This is one of the only ways we can do that in Heroes. And I really like it. I think it lends itself to Nazeebo very well. Last hitting in this game is not a very common mechanic. So the fact that we can actually do that on some characters, I think, is really fun and a different way of approaching the battle. And the fact that it's not a very strict last hitting mechanic. All you have to do is have your poison on a target that dies within 6 seconds of the poison being there, and that's not very difficult to do. But if you are able to do that, you can actually scale your health and mana up quite effectively throughout the course of a game. I was thinking on Volskaya, Toad build would actually be really good on this platform because most enemies will fight in that area, but our team is currently getting killed. I did dip off down here to try to get some regen globes and make sure we continue to stack, but while I was gone, we lost a few people. I didn't have a sippy cup at the time, so I wasn't able to get a decent amount of health. So it looks like the enemy team may get this objective because we keep walking in one at a time to try to, well, as I'm talking about it, I do the same fucking thing. Keep walking in one at a time to try to contest it, and clearly that's not working out too well for us. Sorry, team. I'll try not to stagger deaths and go in without you. So that'll reminder for them to do the same thing, since we're all making the same mistake here, you know what I'm saying? So the enemy team is going to get that first objective, which is totally fine. It's not very powerful. I'm more worried about the fact that they are a level ahead already. It's mostly because of the kill differences, I would assume, though. I do like the fact that we can see our trait on this list and the enemy team's trait on this list to kind of see how we're stacking up versus them. And it looks like we're doing fairly even. When we kill a target, we are increasing our maximum HP and our maximum mana. So it is really important that we do really focus on this. And they are further incentivizing this last hitting playstyle by lowering the maximum HP of Nazeebo, but increasing the amount of scaling that we get from Voodoo Ritual. So we actually get way more health per last hit than we ever have in the past. I think it's great. I really do. I mean, I already was gushing a little bit over how I like his last hitting mechanic and how it's not too strict and stuff, but really, I think they're doing a great job with it. We are going to go for Toads of Hugeness here at level 7, which is going to increase the size of our toads each time they hop. And, well, toads don't have that long of a range, so it does still feel like we need to be close to our adversaries for this to be super effective. But it does become significantly easier to hit large numbers of enemies and get multiple stacks at a time with this talent. We'll just go ahead and make sure our poison's applied as those two minions walk into the tower. Now, our E ability, again, is the main focus of our build, and it has 2 charges. Those charges are both on 8-second cooldowns. Oh, that sucks. I think this guy's going spider build. Yeah, I was going to say his spiders hurt so much. So this enemy team, Nazeebo, is going for a more single target focused damage kind of build. And this is historically how I've played the character as well. Now, he should be able to win this lane versus me every time with that build. At least I think so, if he's able to land his toads. Or if he's able to land his spiders. Toads are really fucking easy to avoid. But toads offer a more universal kit to the battlefield where we can clear lanes super easy. We can do massive amounts of siege damage if we get Toads of Hugeness to hop right into the tower when they're at their biggest size. And we can also do a lot of AoE damage in a team fight that the spider build of Nazeebo is not capable of doing. It's way more single target focused. Now, which one is better? I think it's a little subjective, and it's also based very heavily on how you use it. The enemy team is level 10 and they are pushing our top lane down right now. I don't think this particular Nazeebo player is like astonishingly good or anything, so we should be able to play around him. I think we're about the same skill level. Let's try to double soak these lanes since I can rotate up to middle very quickly here, and we'll just continue to get these stacks. Our overarching goal is to be at 160 stacks by the time we hit level 20, and I think we're doing okay on that right now. We're at 72 stacks as we're approaching level 10, so we're over the halfway mark. And we should be able to meet that goal, no problem. Trying to double soak lanes for our team so we can get level 10 and be ready for this next objective. We are definitely lacking in soak, and you'll notice that we have doubled the XP contribution of our allies just because our kit naturally brings us to the lane. And that's something I really do like about Nazeebo. He's instilling the fundamentals that lead to success in most games. You don't want to overfight too much. You don't want to take too many risks. But at the same time, you also need to focus on getting XP and keeping your team in the game. And that's a fundamental of his playstyle, but also a cornerstone to being successful in Heroes. At level 10, we are going to go for Gargantuan, and we're just going to drop that bad boy right here and kind of hope for the best. Sonya is chasing after us pretty hard here, and we do once again have those corpse spiders on us. It doesn't look like we're really going to be able to contest this too hard here. So I'm going to just sit back on the back line here and hope that our Chromie is able to chip away at these guys. We do have a Sippy Cup available, but we have to go to the middle lane for it, so I'll just ping that really quick. Care, Sippy. I'll just ping that, so hopefully our team doesn't engage too hard. But of course we lose our Alarak moments later, and our Genji appeared to dive in versus the enemy team. So not the best start to this game, but we should be able to make it work. Sonya chasing after me pretty hard here. Valera is going to be able to stun us and take us down as well. And the B step cementing the fact that she is of course a Valera. We have Nub. Chromie can poke guys down, and then he can engage.
Enemy protector online.
And we can do that. I mean, that's fine. So, not going very well in this game for the friendly team so far. We are 2 levels down as they are about to get that fort up top, so that's going to give them even more XP. So it's now more important than ever that we continue to soak not only middle lane, but bottom lane as well. So Toads of Hugeness as these guys are walking in. Again, we want to try to get our trait on as much of these minions as possible. Make sure we get those hits and then rotate down here. Once we see that the poison is going to kill most of them, we can rotate and get XP in another lane without missing out on too much. Okay. Try really, really hard to stay in this game. Try really, really hard. Fundamentals will carry me through. Just using our zombie wall, using our toads, using really fucking anything we can to make sure we get those last hits with our trait, but also soak XP with spells. If you don't know how the actual division of XP works, there's several ways to get XP, and you can learn a lot about it if you ever dedicate an amount of time to Abathur. If you're around something that dies, you'll get the XP for it. If your spell kills something that dies, think of like an Asmodan dunk, you'll get XP for it too. So even though we are leaving this lane, if our trait is active on these minions, we are actively getting the full amount of XP that we can be. Looks like our friendly team isn't engaging too hard up top. Never mind, I take it back. Anubarak's committing suicide. Okay. Hopefully you can get out of there. Now that we know the entire enemy team's up top, though, we can just push into this wall pretty hard. And this is where Plague of Toads, or, yeah, Plague of Toads. I was going to say Toads of Hugeness, but just Plague of Toads in general starts to shine a little bit more. When I can really rack up the siege damage there and burst that entire wall fortification down for the enemy team way faster than any other Nazeebo build would be able to do. We are currently at 126 last hits. This is giving us an additional 1,512 HP. That is not anything to laugh at. That is a massive amount of HP. Where's he going? Oh, Chromie got him in the loop, so we can just have Toads waiting for him when he goes back to his previous location. So that worked out great. And we picked up a good kill for the team. We finally have a little bit of momentum going on our side. That's only our 4th kill of this game. So hopefully we can do a little bit of pushing now that we have that. I'm going to drop the Gargantuan right in the middle of this team fight. I don't know who is in the cocoon here, but I'm going to pop the zombie wall around it right now, send in Toads, and hopefully pick up a kill here. I'm not sure why he didn't go back into the zombie wall there. I'm not sure why at all. Was it because Anubarak's hitbox takes up the entire middle of that? Beautiful Chromie combo is going to secure a kill there, and we are now pushing in for our first fort of the game. Nice job, team. Keep it up, and we can do this just fine. I'm going to go defend top. I'm going to clean that up. And hopefully there'll be another objective popping up pretty soon, and we can keep this momentum going. So yeah, 1620 HP has been added to our Nazeebo, and we also have, about 500, or 200, excuse me, mana being added. Numbers are hard. Some of them look the same. Level 16 has been achieved by the enemy team, but we're just trying our best to continue to soak, continue to focus on our fundamental principles of gameplay and Heroes of the Storm that Nazeebo excels at, and get us back into this game. The next objective is going to be in the bottom lane. I was going to say maybe we could have zombie walled the next minion wave to keep momentum going, but I don't think that would have been that great. Our Alarak way overcommitted to this before the team was ready, and he is going to be punished pretty hard for that. But I still think we can re-engage, especially if he has Sippy Cup, which it looks like he does. He also has a turret as well, so this may be an okay engagement for us still. Valera and Sonya engaging really hard on the left side of the screen. Let's go ahead and drop the Gargantuan, send some Toads in here, and just try to clean this up to the best of our ability. That Cocoon is currently being sent around. That's hilarious, actually. That's really funny. I don't think we can do much here, team. I really don't. I'm sorry. I'm trying to believe. We're already 2 members down. No reason to give them any more kills. Let's just go back to soaking. Back to the fundamentals. Try to stay in this game. Spider Colony, I believe, is a new talent for us at level 16. And Corpse Spiders against heroes are able to... We're fine. You engaged 2v5. We can do this. Play smart. Okay. Okay. So if we use our spiders versus enemy heroes, it's going to be reducing the cooldown of our Plague of Toads for each hit that the spiders do. And it could do a lot of damage. It could do a lot of, it can increase your damage by a lot, is what I meant to say. So if we're able to just land our spiders early on in a fight, it means we get more free Toads for doing basically nothing. I mean, it's already what we were doing, and more Toads is just better. It's just better. I hope I don't have to explain that. We're currently at 172 stacks because we've been dual soaking lanes and trying to push back any kind of aggression that this enemy team pushes in towards us with. That bottom lane doesn't appear to be going too great for the friendly team. All right. They are still a level ahead. Do we want to do anything here? Are they stepping out of position? I think they're all fine still. Let's get this camp really quick. We should have a moment to do that. Nazeebo's actually really good at getting camps, which is odd. I feel like his kit now, especially with Toads, encourages you to be really far away from people, but he's actually really good at cleaving camps down. It's like the talents that improve the damage at the further radius don't seem to hinder his ability to take camps at all. Chromie is moving forward, but I'm in a bad spot here. Let's try to dodge some of these skills, shall we? I think we're definitely going to be leaped on. That's unfortunate. Maybe the Gargantuan could still secure some kills here. I mean, that Chromie's really low on the back line. That sucks. We just overextended too far and got caught out. I saw the Chromie kind of by herself. At least it looked like she was by herself a little bit, and I wanted to take advantage of that, but mistakes happen. The enemy team does have a mercenary camp pushing back against us up top with a pretty large minion wave over there as well. They also grab that top camp. That's not going to push, but it is going to give them a healing buff that they can use. The friendly team is outnumbered up here, so we need to wait for either Meterez or Alarak to join them before we even consider that engagement. We do see the enemy team's Artanis in the middle lane, so this could be a 4v4 if they wanted to do it. The enemy team is achieving level 20 right now, however. But this is Heroes of the Storm. We can come back at any point. We can just get a team wipe at the 20-minute mark and push to core. I've seen it happen a million times in Hero League, and it's incredibly frustrating. But I genuinely do believe we could still make that work. We could still make that pay off. The enemy team's Chromie is caught in the loop right now. No, he's not able to finish her off. Let's drop our Gargantuan. Try to move out of here as fast as we can. Looks like we're okay, and we'll just send some Toads in after these guys. We also have our Sippy Cup available too. I'm going to put a zombie wall around whoever was in that cocoon, but I did miss by just a little bit. We do pick up a kill on the enemy team's Valera, and these toads are moving out. They're dealing damage. We're hitting things. Sonya's used the nerves of steel and isn't going to die because she never dies. Sonya's so fucking busted right now. She's so strong. But we do have numbers advantage. We have numbers advantage. Go, 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 go. Even though we are down on level right now, we can still make this happen because we just have more people to throw at the problem than the enemy team does. Artanis is going to hit me with the blind. He is going to be able to get out of there without my toads hitting him at all as well. We're currently sitting at 200 stacks on our trait quest, which I'm obviously feeling pretty good about. We might be able to catch him with that zombie wall. He is going to skirt around the outside. See, this is like, I have such a hard time landing toads because they're just so fucking slow. It's like the great thing about spiders is you need them somewhere, boom, they're spiders. Spiders are doing their thing, they're ready to go. I am going to ice block here while she's stuck in the time trap. I'm going to try to move away as well. Zombie wall her as she's moving forward, catch her in that, and hopefully make it out without dying. Level 20 almost achieved by the friendly team, but the enemy team is starting to respawn. Nazeebo being their only one not currently in this fight, but it looks like we have a decent chance of getting this objective. Our Nubrak does need to be careful. We might need to back up. Wait for us. We're on the way. This will be a 5v4 if we get there in time. We are going to go for Vile Infection here, and we have enough stacks to make this happen. So I'm really confident that we can do this, especially if our tank gets in front of me and starts to engage. Genji did jump in, and it looks like we have Valera in the temporal loop, and we're just going to put that zombie wall down by her feet as she is pulled back in. I'm just going to drop the Gargantuan now, send in Togs on Sonya here, stun Sonya down, hit her with the corpse spiders, and there we go. That is a dead Sonya and a dead Valera for the enemy team. Maybe a dead Artanis as well as we continue to move forward into this enemy team here. The zombie wall does catch Chromie, but she's going to hit me pretty hard with her W ability. Now we have a great opportunity to push in and deal some really good siege damage. I would have recommended pushing in towards the enemy team's bottom keep. You know, you always want to play for keeps, not for forts, but you know, I'll take what we can get at this stage in the game. Pinging for some more assistance over here. Hopefully we can get our team moving in the right direction. But this is when Toads of Hugeness really start to come into play, and we can siege this wall down incredibly quickly. Every 8 seconds we basically do a quarter of this tower's health in damage. I'm going to sit in this ice block for a moment, try to back up now. The enemy team is respawning. I don't want to be here when Valera's back, so I'm going to ping retreat. Going B, care, Valera. And then we can rejoin. We are sitting at almost 6,000 HP because we did such a good job of stacking up our trait, though. Our team is starting to separate. I'm a little worried for Chromie, but she is going to use bye-bye. And whoever's in this is going to be by themselves, so I'm going to ping danger and try to get them to back up, try to get them to get to safety. It looks like they're doing that just fine, though. So our level 20 talent, because we did such a good job of getting our stacks, is really going to benefit us quite a bit as this game progresses. If we are, let's go ahead and put the Gargantuan out on that temporal loop. Hopefully that'll work out. I'm trying so hard this game. Oh my god. If we auto attack someone, we poison them. That's what it does. This used to be a core part of playing Nazeebo way back in the alpha. Your trait was actually really good versus heroes, and they kind of removed that and put it behind the barrier of your quest to get this done. But once you get it unlocked, it's so much additional power added to Nazeebo that you just can't ignore it. We can hit heroes so, like, we can hit them so hard. Did I say our auto attacks poison them? Anything we do poisons them. Basic abilities, everything we do poisons them. Let's get out of here. At least I think that's right. After reaching 175 stacks, Voodoo Ritual can also be applied to heroes, and its damage is increased by 200%. So everything that we do will now deal extra damage over time to heroes. It's so strong. We haven't had anyone die in quite some time. I'm really proud of our team. We're making the turnaround, even though, you know, we were a little salty about it. Sorry I haven't talked about too many Nazeebo-specific things. I've been trying to play Team Psychologist over here and turn this train wreck around. This is the exact reason why I don't like Team League. I feel like I spend way less time actually playing Team League and way more time trying to keep everybody motivated. But you know what? If I gotta do it this game, then I'll do it this game. That's okay. But Sick Pallies is still a team player, you know? I'm going to push out bottom lane. Again, even though we already have our quest completed, getting more stacks is always a good idea. And we can get an easy, like, 20 fucking stacks right there. It was so many. We're sitting at 6,443 HP on Nazeebo. I think we officially have more HP than our tank. Let's compare it to the enemy team's stacks. I almost have 100 more than him. That's where we're at right now. I do believe we caught Valera in that that zombie wall there, and I'm just going to continue to try to use my toads to keep these guys at bay. Now that they're moving away from me, I have such a hard time feeling like my toads actually matter. Maybe you guys can give me some advice for that. I mean, I just don't feel like they hit anything. We did manage to kill Valera, and we did manage to take Sonya down as well, which means we should definitely be applying some pressure to the enemy team's defenses. The cocoon was used by our Anubarak player, and I'm going to put it around this zombie wall, get the toads out, get them in position, and deal as much damage as I can to this enemy team's Artanis, and then use the toads to cut off his escape as he is moving away. Hopefully our Anubarak didn't suicide into the tower. I'm trying to just put things up to distract the enemy team. Looks like we made it out without losing anyone once again. Our top lane is under a little bit of pressure. Only Nazeebo and Chromie for the enemy team still stand, and I'm trying to use our build. I'm trying to use the strength of my build to actually siege versus this enemy team right now, because that's the whole fucking point of it, right? That's what we're trying to do this whole fucking time, right? Okay, rotating up top. We'll try to do something up here. I would love to just push and win, but this is quick match, boys. It's not Hero League. We can only do with what our teams... We can only work with what our team gives us. I do want to get rid of their vision here. I do want to get rid of their sippy cup here as well, if I can. If I can focus on that a little bit. Another option that we could have taken at level, what is this, 13, would have been Superstition, but Superstition actually just got nerfed pretty considerably. I don't think it's a very good talent anymore. It used to just give you a shit ton of spell, armor? Yeah, spell armor. But then what they did was make it so it would give you a shit ton of spell armor, but if an enemy team attacked you, it would deal more damage. So if there was a mage heavy team on the other side or something, you could just get Superstition, and odds are you would be able to mitigate the majority of their damage if they were mostly mages. But now with Superstition, that ability power goes away if you're hit with a fucking basic attack, which doesn't make any sense to me, because even mages can basic attack you. So mages can actively remove the mitigation you're trying to get, which I don't like one bit. I'm trying to back away from Valera here. We'll just throw some toads back in her general direction. Hopefully they land. We are being pushed out right now. We only lost our Alarak so far, and it looks like we might be able to push in here and get a couple more resets. Nazeebo taking a lot of damage. I'm going to grab this regen globe and see if we can continue our push here. Toads are going to hit that enemy team's Artanis. We need another regen globe here if we can get it. We can play around these time traps of our Chromie as well. Trying to anyway. I'm trying so hard. Maybe that zombie wall will land. Doesn't look like it will. I'm just going to sit here in ice block. Throw out those corpse spiders. Get another wave of toads ready to go. Goodness me, man. It's just getting so sketchy here. He said, there, we got him, we got him. Okay, we're at 96% on this fucking thing. Good job, team. Mid after this. Okay, I'm hopping in. I'll drive it. I don't mind. Actually, I'm in the passenger seat. That's totally fine, too. Hopefully, we can rally our team. No, don't go for the key. Don't go to... Words are dumb. Wicked core. Go, 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 go. Come on, Anubarak. Fuck. God, I can only baby you so much. You need to know fucking how to do something, man. Come on. All right, he's slowly but surely making his way down there. Our friendly Alarak is Alarak is joining us. The keep is down, and now we can go. Now we can go. If I swear to God, if he attacks the keep, I'm gonna be so pissed. I'm gonna be so mad. Chromie is making her way in here as well. Our siege is not that great, and I'm not going to try to sugarcoat this. This is going to be a difficult core to win, but hopefully Alarak can keep himself alive, and I can get enough, like, splash damage versus this enemy team that we can still hit this core. Our Chromie is... I'm going to jump out of this, actually. I'm jumping out. I'm going to drop everything. Oh my god. I better get MVP or I'm going to be so salty. I better get MVP or I'm going to be so salty. Good job, team. Don't give up on your dreams. Team Psychologist Pallytime to the rescue. Oh, I earned it. I earned it so much. Oh, I earned it so much. Not a single upvote was given that day. Feels so bad, man. It feels so bad. Well, that's Nazeebo's Toad build. As you can see, we did 235,000 siege damage with it. We got 10,000 more XP than anyone in the game, almost. And the psychologist aspect of Nazeebo was enough to rally us to a victory and not get people to give up. If you would like to play along at home, Pandemic at level 1, Big Voodoo at level 4, Toads of Hugeness at level 7, Gargantuan at 10, Ice Block, Spider Colony, and then Vile Infection. I'm sorry I didn't talk about the mechanics of Nazeebo too much in that game. His Toad build is massively ahead on win rate, although I do think there is a place for his Spider build still. Ravenous Spirit and Gargantuan are both great abilities. You can use both of them. There has been a lot of flip-flopping over the history of Nazeebo for which one is better, but I feel like they're both in a good place right now. I think Superstition is bad. I don't know. Maybe it's not. I mean, if they have a chromie and you're getting chunked from like a screen away, this is great. If not, I don't think it's worth, because one auto attack can ruin the whole talent for you. Ice Block is always great, even though it's a generic talent. He does have an interesting thing here in Soul Harvest. Activate to increase Nazeebo's health and spell power by 70% for each nearby enemy, up to a maximum of 35%, and that lasts for 15 seconds, and this only has a 15-second cooldown. I just can't quite figure out what kind of build would actually get the most use out of that. It would probably be a spider one, where you just kind of walk in and try to deal damage. And then Vile Infection is a phenomenal upgrade if you are able to focus on laning and get those stacks, because you're making Nazeebo tankier, and then you're increasing his damage output at level 20 as well. Fury of the Storm is great, even though it's not popular anymore, and both of his upgrades are pretty good as well. Nazeebo's in a great spot, and he's one of the highest win rate characters in the game right now, so definitely worth checking out, regardless of the build that you play. Thank you all for watching. Sorry I sound like I'm dying, and I will see you all next time.